Hey, if you just so happen to reach this channel, you are meant to hear the messages that God needs me to reveal to you all today. I'm your host, Indigo Sol the Channeler, coming back once again with another exclusive episode right here on Pretty Mess Podcast, where I talk about life, spirituality, and a little controversy. Welcome and thank you all for tuning in with me at this moment. I really appreciate it. So before we get into the real reason why you're here, y'all go ahead and show some love by liking the video, sharing the video, and subscribe to my channel. The support would be the greatest gift ever. And that would allow me to continue posting more content like so. I have a lot of messages to put out, and I mean a lot. To simply knock down the false kingdoms of these influencers, let me tell you. It's a lot to unpack here, folks. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize in advance to the ones that would be greatly affected by this here. The messages I'm about to present is in order from God and as a big favor to the spirit of Kim Porter and many others affected. Some may be offended. I'm not going to even hold you. Some may even feel angry. Whatever the case may be, my messages does not in any shape or form misrepresent nor exploit the spirit of Kim Porter and many others involved. This is a spiritual business, and it's not to be taken lightly. Let me tell you that. For months, I have strategically planned this shortly after seeing that disgusting video of Sean in that hotel hallway. For those of you who have seen it, you know that was very vile and just horrible. During that process, I have struggled for months. I've even cried for the ones affected, especially for his youngest daughter, Love Combs. I even got spiritually attacked to quote unquote prevent me from speaking out and most of all of what the outcome would be. However, I remembered I am a chosen one and I'm a child of the Most High. I'll go ahead and introduce myself a bit. I am Indigo Sol the Channeler, or simply Indigo Sol. I am originally from Robbins, Illinois, but raised in the heart of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am a natural born, genuine psychic medium with the God-given abilities such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. That's just to name a few. You know, I don't want to tell all of my business just yet. I come from a very powerful star family as well. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am heavily protected and loved by many in the spiritual world. Just know that I am a cat mama to my beloved Siberian cat who is super sweet and feisty, always getting into something, being mischievous, but nonetheless very sweet. I have a diehard love for fashion, food, art, and K-pop. Shout out to my K-pop fans. I'm also trying to become a polyglot, meaning to learn different languages. I'm interested more with Yoruba, Korean, Italian, Hindi. That's just to name a few. Um, I've been slacking a little bit. I ain't gonna even hold you, but you know, practice makes perfect. And I just have to really apply myself. I do know a little bit of Espanol since it's a pretty easy language to learn and it's a beautiful language. So Spanish is definitely like my go-to. Now, here is a disclaimer to anyone listening. On this channel, I will be discussing spiritual related content. It is, however, your choice to listen to the messages all the way through. However, if subjects like channeling spirits are an issue, y'all do me a favor, just please exit stage left. Don't even waste your time and energy to put a negative comment if you disagree, if you want to project your personal views. Like, don't do that on this channel because you will simply get deleted and or blocked. Let's all be respectful. I respect anyone who has whatever their beliefs, but hey, I'm simply here to be a messenger of the Most High and share my gifts. My gifts is not demonic in any form. Let's just be clear on that. Anyways, let's get into it. In this episode, I'll be dropping some anticipated information regarding the notorious Sean John Puff Daddy P. Diddy Love Combs. the CEO of the record label Bad Boy Entertainment and entrepreneur of many things. He is pretty much in the hot seat for being a narcissist and an evil man for abusing people and stealing from his artists. However, the star of this episode surrounds by none other than the mother of his children, Kimberly Porter, or just simply Kim. She was a beautiful model and was known to slay on a red carpet. Kimberly Antwinette Porter was born December 15th, 1970 in Columbus, Georgia, to parents Sarah and Jake Porter. She was the only child and was well liked amongst her peers. In 1988, she graduated from Columbus High School and later pursued a modeling career and attended beauty pageants. I mean, Kim was definitely living Barbie. Don't play with her. She was just too gorgeous. She eventually took an opportunity and moved to New York to live her dream. She landed a job as a receptionist with Uptown Records and appeared in various music videos such as Heavy D's Nothing But Love and Big Daddy Kane's music video Smooth Operator. She was once married to R&B legend Al B. Shore, also known as Mr. Night and Day. I just made that up, but yeah. They had a handsome son named Quincy, and she was even the inspiration behind that R&B hit song by 90s group Jodeci entitled Forever My Lady. That is a little fun fact. That was like a beautiful tribute to the mother of their child. Now, ladies, if a man writes a song about you, he's definitely loved. Okay? So, after her marriage unfortunately ended, she was pursued by the demon, Sean John Puff Daddy P. Diddy Love Combs, and they created a handsome son, Christian, and their beautiful twin daughters, Jesse James and Delilah Star. After years of the abuse, she finally got free and started to live her life on her own terms. I know that's right. On November 15, 2018, a month shy from her 48th birthday, Kim Porter unfortunately passed away due to pneumonia, according to what the media said. Unfortunately, that's not what the spirit of Kim Porter revealed. It just tells a different story. So, here on Pretty Mess Podcast, I will disclose many details from my mediumship note entries, which began in early 2022. The spirit of Kim Porter has, in fact, connected with me for over 2 years, and I am so grateful to have a continuous spiritual connection with her. She even refers to me as her little sister. You know, I've been really looking out for her in the spiritual world, so I feel that's why things are slowly unfolding, if you will. I've assisted her by burning ancestor money from Galacticus, which has done wonders for not only my life, but for hers as well. Shout out to Sri Master Gano Grills and the Chain of Command for providing wonderful modalities from this amazing spiritual movement, Galacticus. Y'all go check them out. Thanks, y'all. Love y'all. I have also connected with the spirits of Christopher Wallace, the legendary Brooklyn rap artist of Bad Boy Records, Andre Harrell, the music mogul and CEO of Uptown Records, Heavy D, another legendary music producer and hip hop artist of Uptown Records, Jabbar, quote unquote, Esco Croswell, the socialite and former model of the now irrelevant clothing brands Sean John and Rockaware, Craig Mack, the amazingly talented first rap artist signed to Bad Boy Records and former pastor, and last but not least, Virgil Abloh, a renowned fashion designer and mastermind of the clothing brand Off-White and former artistic director of Louis Vuitton's menswear line. I'm also going to touch base on some unanswered questions, including what really happened with this infamous fight with Kim Porter, which left her with a broken nose, and what actually took place at that 1999 club shooting with J-Lo. Lots of tea to drop. I will be also protecting a lot of names, including some of his former artists, A couple in particular are a part of my soul family, and I love them very much. I am shooketh to the core. God be with us all. All right, y'all, let's get into the real rabbit hole in life of Sean Puff Daddy P. Diddy Love Combs.
Listeners' discretion is advised.
Kim Porter, born Kimberly Antwinette Porter, only child of Sarah and Jake Porter, coming straight out of Columbus, Georgia, often frequented in Atlanta, Georgia, pursued modeling at a young age, signed to an agency in New York, and got a receptionist job with Uptown Records, and befriended the former CEO, Andre Harrell, Heavy D, and many others. Met up with the former intern, Sean Combs, aka Sean John Puff Daddy Puff, P. Diddy loved Combs. See? Told you it was too much. He's so extra. I lived a crazy, fun, and stressful life, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. The only difference is taking my loved ones with me in God's paradise. Here's my story, y'all. March 2nd, 2022. Diddy is definitely gay. He has his main boyfriend, Hervé. Carisha from the City Girls is a chess pawn in his game. She don't like him like that. She's a city girl. LOL. A lot of these brothers in the industry are gay as hell. In order to get those $1 million deals in Hollywood, you gotta get down, whether if it's a homosexual act or anything of that nature. People get real nasty for the fame. Diddy killed me off because I was gonna secretly expose him in my book. He hired some Jewish man and was a part of a ritual to end my life for some pneumonia. I was perfectly fine, healthy. Then all of a sudden, boom. I felt horrible that day. I needed to get to the hospital and no one was around. I was freaking out. I knew my kids were all devastated. My family. Sean pretended like he cared, but he don't. He's cold-hearted. Friend or foe, he don't care. I can't believe I wanted to marry that man because of our history, and he made all these promises to me just to keep me chained. He was a control freak. When you're with Diddy, you've got to look top tier. Hair done, nails, all that, in tip-top shape. He abused Cassie a lot, more so verbally. He did beat on her a couple times, would try to choke her out sometimes. He was abusive with me too. That manager, the big white man, had some of his artists. White men really get down with the gay acts like they did in Rome and Greece. They are into that pedophilia shit too. They especially like young boys. I caught Sean getting it on with Hervé. Sean gave me hush money. April 23rd, 2023. Kim Porter and Chris Wallace vouchers. Sean Puffy Combs eats shit and connects with Satan and Belphegor. He beats on his women in private, and they can't say anything or they will end up like me. Young Miami is staying for the benefits. November 15th, 2023. He works with dark entities that are powerful. Belphegor, Satan, Mephistopheles, Belial, and some other names I cannot pronounce. They are powerful. That's why Sean feels invincible. The pacts he made with those demons. So many are scared of Sean. He's worse than his father. His father wasn't shit, a cold-blooded drug dealer in New York. Got killed by police. Sean ended up growing up without a father. So when he got into the music scene, he was willing to do whatever to be a part of that lifestyle. He appeared in Stacey Latishaw's music video. He glowed up with that money though. He was not so attractive to me when I first met him, but I figured he was sweet and charming. I worked at the front desk at this record label, Uptown Records. He stated he started taking me out on dates, whining and dining me. Then it went on from there. I was kind of used to dating guys in the industry, hence I'll Be Sure, whom I love dearly to this day. Even though things didn't work out romantically, but we still worked out things for the sake of Quincy. He couldn't stand Albie. He was jealous. For years, even. Sean thought he was too much of a pretty boy. Oh well, he was. He even sacrificed my then boyfriend. His car blew up. I was devastated. Sean didn't want me to be with anyone else, just be single and miserable. But that didn't stop me from dating. I still lived my life. Gina Hun, she suffered a lot from their relationship. Made that girl have multiple abortions and beat on her regularly too. Suffered miscarriages and even involuntarily participated in gang rapes or orgies at these Diddy parties. The Hampton parties were nuts. It was a lot going on. Private rooms equals sexual deviancy stuff, weird fetishes, drugs, alcohol. Some people stayed outside to not get involved with that mess. He spent millions on these white parties in the Hamptons. It might have appeared cool, but it was a lot going on. Diddy Love, or whatever his identity is today, ain't shit like his daddy. Yep, I said it. He ain't worth a damn, but a sperm donor to my beautiful babies. That's all he is to me. I do wish he was different, but you can't change people. Money and fame got the best of him. He's way too caught up in the lifestyle. He be having these orgy parties with men a lot. He has too much demonic energy around. He prefers men, actually. He has to keep this facade to keep women around. Sorry, I got to drop the ball on you real quick, but Cassie may not make it to trial. Diddy is going to silence her. November 17th, 2023. Told you Cassie wasn't going to trial. He was going to find a way to shut her up. At least she told some of it to the public. She still wants justice for what's happened to her. She wanted more than the money. It was the principle of it all. But best believe Sean is going to get his lick back. It may be amicable, as he claims, but trust and believe he's going to get his lick back. Aubrey O'Day may end up getting silenced too. She was once on the bandwagon to the bad boy success. When she first got signed, she was so eager to be front and center. And she did just that. Slept with Diddy and was his side bitch for a while until she didn't want to do some things, and that's when he started treating her differently, including messing up her pay, then eventually letting her go from the label. She was pissed. Hervé Pierre is his main bitch, and Diddy has side niggas too. Carisha knows her time is up, but trying to figure out an exit. She's pretending to do all this lovey stuff for social media because she doesn't want to let go of the lifestyle. Saucy Santana had a few fling nights with Diddy too. My babies miss me so much. I miss them so much, like terribly. I wish I could take my babies with me. They unfortunately don't want to let go of their lifestyle. Justin's mother, Misa Hilton Brim, wanted to speak out because she's dealt with a lot of abuse, but again, now wanted to let go of the lifestyle. We were never friends, but cordial. She was a secret enemy. She was envious of me coming on the scene as this model chick and wished to have some of my features. She wasn't getting the treatment like before, so when I came along, I was able to get more than her. He basically upgraded in his eyes. But then he had other hoes too. The moment I happened to walk in when Sean was clapping Hervé's cheeks in the bedroom, I was mortified. That's when we had that infamous fight. I mean, we were going at it. The man I loved had a secret relationship with Hervé Pierre, the CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment. Oh my God, it was something I couldn't unsee. He threatened to kill me if I said anything. I even had a secret recording of them. That's what I really wanted to release. My friend had my laptop and it was placed on that folder. She ended up in hiding because she's scared for her life, living in fear. I had to sign an NDA at the beginning of our relationship because otherwise I'd be silenced or killed off. I tried to do a positive co-parenting relationship, but I got to talking with my friends and came up with this idea of releasing this book. I was almost done. Once I told Sean I'm writing a book, he got real uptight. So you trying to expose me or something? I was just tired of the lies and the bullshit I dealt with. All those times we were intimate, I realized it wasn't all real. I was hurt and betrayed by that man. He was having secret affairs with men. These men and young boys get turned out over 360 deals or whatever in Hollywood. Mace was screwed out of a deal when it came to the money. May 30th, 2024. TD Jakes is a pedophile. He likes grooming little boys, young men under his quote-unquote ministry. He is secretly gay as well. His congregation is being misused and misled. He is also sex trafficking. He does not serve the living God, but Satan. T.D. Jakes is a demon worshiper and participates in the quote-unquote congregational visits at the Diddy parties. They would have orgies amongst men for rituals included. There's a lot of homosexual acts and sex magic rituals they do. Just evil and nasty. T.D. Jakes is a hypocrite. He's misguiding the people. He wants to be the black version of Joel Osteen, who is also a fraudulent man. He had thousands of dollars in his walls so he wouldn't pay taxes, but when that big hurricane came about, he turned them away. Twice. He ain't nothing but a sack of shit. Joel Osteen is a high-ranking Mason who serves demons and Satan. This is all correct. All of these deacons and pastors care about is the dollar bill, y'all. Those mega churches, there's no way tithes and offerings can build a mega church on its own like that. They do these private rituals to get what they want. Since spells are in the Bible, how else do you think they manipulate the congregations with their scriptures? They are serving the devil work. I know all too well. May 31st, 2024. Diddy can shove that song up his ass. Kim Porter. No shade to Babyface and Harrell. June 4th, 2024. Cisco Rosado from Love and Hip Hop is in on the sex trafficking deals too. Close connections with Diddy's inner circle. July 28th, 2024. He was with Sarah Stokes from Making the Band. He wanted her to be one of his trophy girls, but she was married, but did sleep with him for the deal / getting signed. September 1st, 2024. First of all, they are some liars, Sloan Bella and Quatita Dean. I know a lot of times psychics or whatever that put out information as allegedly because they don't want the chance of getting sued, which is understandable. However, with Sloan Bella, She had deliberately put my name out there for clout and views. I never gave her permission to channel me. Neither have I given Quartita or whatever her name is permission. They have hit a few points, but they never channeled the real me. Quartita has thrown in some random ass names like Eminem and Naya Rivera that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. She has not been connecting the dots with a lot of the alleged information. Kimberly Antwinette Porter has been used by them and other psychic mediums for clout and defamation. Even Tammy the Voodoo Queen on TikTok as well. She has also never channeled the real me. They have channeled false spirits that are tricksters. Sloan Bella has been doing this for years. The spiritual world is very tricky anyway. Sloan Bella is in fact a fraudulent bitch that has channeled a piece of my spirit without my consent and make people believe she has channeled me. Why is it that they never dropped the real receipts like I have provided? Some psychic mediums are honest and true. They are the ones who are not. Quartita claimed that I was sitting in her home looking luxurious. Like, I know I am, but bitch, be for real. I would never step foot in your home because you ain't helped me with shit. And the words that come out of your mouth is a crock of shit. Don't lie on my name. That goes for Sloan Bella as well. But they're going to continue to do it anyway. That's why they have a low ranking in the spiritual world, because of their false pretenses. That's it. That's all. What goes around comes around. Allegedly. September 2nd, 2024. The shark tooth amulet is a binding tactic Sean gives that to his main girls to keep silent. Once removed, the spell is broken. The amulet is consecrated by ritual by the higher-ups, aka the Jewish guys. J-Lo took it off because she eventually found out what it was used for. She didn't want to be changed. That's all. P. Diddy is not a warlock. He pays people to do his bidding. He doesn't have the time for it. Lazy ass. LOL. Hollywood, or Hollyweird, is controlled by Jewish mysticism and Satanism, worshiping ancient gods depicted in the Bible and other ancient religious texts. September 22nd, 2024. What happened in the 1999 club shooting in Manhattan? A dispute occurred at the club solely about a sex trafficking deal. J-Lo wanted to be in on it, getting paid millions. She was down with the cause until the police wanted to be involved with the aftermath of the shooting. She backed out, but Sean wanted to cover up for her career. Sean saved her career in a way, but she ended up leaving, causing him stress, and write the song I Need a Girl and have Usher sing the infamous hook, I need a girl to ride. September 21st, 2024. To my biological children and my bonus babies, Justin and Chance. I love you guys so much. I know you're going to have a hard time in this lifetime, but trouble doesn't last always. Make your mamas proud. Be righteous people and do great things. I'm proud of you all, even when you don't make the smartest decisions. One day, you'll realize it all. Life is truly what you make of it. Be better examples for each other and live your best lives. Choose wisely. Love you all. My real final words. I never had an affair with Tupac Shakur, ever. That was Sarah Chapman's guy back in the day. To those psychic mediums who claim to have channeled me, grow up. I never gave any of you permission from me to tap in. If I did, I would have given you specific names and specific details on certain events, like I explained to Indigo Sol here. She has helped me for over 2 years, and I am grateful for her. I don't see what the benefit is or was for you to just tap into my energy. Were you trying to help me seek justice? Absolutely not. Just for a clout on my name. Get lost. This is the second time mentioning this. Sloan Bella is a pathological liar and exploits spirits for her selfish gain. Quartita and Tammy the Voodoo Queen on TikTok are frauds too. Everyone, be careful who you listen to or read on the internet. Make sure they have actual receipts to back up those claims or stories. Fame ain't always good. The new quote unquote book that was released on Amazon recently is extremely fabricated. I ain't never used no butt plugs in my life. Sorry, TMI. Last but not least, J-Lo was an accomplice to the crime for that club incident with Diddy. He needed some people, including Shine, to cover up for him. Thankfully, she was smart enough to leave Sean's stupid ass. She doesn't care about black people, only the black D. Her career is going down the toilet too, especially for how she treated people. Be careful who you befriend and who you fall in love with. Always be strategic in this game of life. Be a good person and be humble. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. P.S. Sean, good luck in prison. You'll love it there. LOL. Now, those are my final words. I got my lick back. Chris Wallace, one of God's chosen children, one of the best lyricists in the world by his gift of wordplay, a father, a son, a friend that stays 10 toes down. Those demons ain't giving him one more chance. May 1st, 2022, Part 1. Oh my God, thank you for giving me a bit of your time to talk. I'm Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie or Biggie Smalls. You can call me Chris. I was a victim of a satanic ritual by the hands of Puffy Combs or Love, whatever the fuck name he got going on. Excuse my French, but I'm just keeping it raw with you. I'm from Brooklyn, raised by my single mother, Valletta Wallace, and my dad was a deadbeat. Never gave a fuck about me. My mother was my pride and joy. I miss her dearly. She was my everything. I guess I got my chubbiness from that deadbeat, but oh well, the hoes love me. I did go to church when I was young, but never stuck around. I eventually became a part of the street life and wanted to do better in life. In New York, you got to be born to hustle, whether if it's drugs, sex, whatever. We had to hustle. My mother couldn't give me those tools, so I learned from the big cats in the streets. Selling dope and shit at an early age, I was loving the money and determined to get it. Wanted the freshest clothes and kicks. My mama questioned me where I got so much money. She knew about my street life and was disappointed in me. That was the last thing I wanted, to disappoint my mother. I was young, naive, stupid, and stubborn. For the most part, I was a good kid in school, getting A's and B's. Once I became a part of the street life, that's when it all changed. I miss my babies, my son Chris Jr. and Tiana. They make me so proud. I can't believe I would have been a grandpa by now. Can you believe it? So happy for them. I died with gunshot wounds, but Satan came to collect my soul that night. The shots came so fast. I was in a state of shock. I was bleeding bad in the passenger seat. Beforehand, I was just chilling and minding my business. Just for the record, there was an unspeculated rumor on who set me up. It was all Puffy's doing, all his fault. Some people put it out on Suge because of this stupid rap beef between me and Pac. I was really mad when he was talking shit about my then wife, Faith. She ended up being a snake by marrying a close friend, Stevie J. His bitch ass. Their marriage will never work. It ain't all the way real. At the time, I thought what we had was real. Even me having a girlfriend at the time, Kim. We were very close. Charlie B was a lady friend too. For some reason, I got caught up with the light brights. They really pushed that agenda in Hollywood. To be with someone light or racially ambiguous, as they call it. I just call it mixed. I still got love for the original Black Queens too. Kim Porter was like a sister to me. We were in the same circle. I didn't really care for Puff's first baby mom, Justin's mom, Misa. She was really a bitch, just saying. Acted too bougie and jealous of his hoes. She couldn't keep up with the lifestyle, so Puff dropped her ass like a bad habit. I'm gonna tell an epic confessional. Puff acted like my mentor, but is extremely selfish. Can't believe that nigga got a whole boyfriend. Down low ass niggas. He was getting all the pretty women as a cover up from who he really is. A closeted man. He has done people dirty in the industry. Robbed them and killed them off by making deals with Satan. I'm surprised y'all got the same birthday. That's wild. My life ended so he, Puff, can live the glamorous life with the private jets and all that. My career was really about to take off. I took an oath with Satan too before I landed my first record deal. I didn't know what to expect, but heard quote unquote great things about what Satan has done for people in the industry. I was down. I was already into some dark shit by being in the streets and didn't care about Christ. So I was interested more in the material things. I want the big house, more money, the whole nine. Believe it or not, Faith was added as a part of Satan's deal. She was really not supposed to be my wife, but I was granted a wish to gain a beautiful wife. I asked Satan for a lot, didn't get many things. He did, quote unquote, bless me with many things, but controlled my life too. I became a little depressed. I tried to hide it by suppressing with drugs and alcohol. Did a lot of cocaine and weed, but wasn't too dependent on them. May 2nd, 2022. Okay, we ready for part 2? I'm bearing all my sins at the cross. I should have never denied Christ. I wasn't a bad person per se, but a bad influence in many ways. I was from the streets, so I had to be hard. My dad wasn't around, so I looked up to the pimps and drug dealers in my hood. Once I met Puff, I thought we were cool. He was like a brother to me, and I was betrayed in the worst way possible. I don't know if I can forgive him for what he did to me and cause my family grief without them knowing. My mother has an idea of what happened. She doesn't trust Puff. She's being cordial for the publicity. I showed up in her dreams to show her bits and pieces of what happened. I think she got the gist though. Puff is getting away with murder, literally and figuratively. He don't care about no one but his money, empire, and his kids. He don't even check on my daughter or son no more. My daughter hates him. My son is like, whatever. Too many rumors went around about me being set up by Puff. Niggas will smile and kiki in your face, and behind the scenes, they will do the dirty work with Satan and other demons. Puff not only works with Satan, other high-level demons I never heard of. He's pure evil. I would never go to his parties or befriend him. You just might be the next victim. Puff has this obsession with extremely beautiful people and pretty kids with quote-unquote good hair. All of his kids are beautiful, but he has this weird obsession. Not quite pedophilia. Puff is weird as fuck. He didn't want to marry any of his baby moms because of the control on his estate and all that. He's mainly sharing deals with his boyfriend, Hervé. They are freaks. Just saying. This man orchestrated to take my life. He goes up and makes a fucking song as a tribute? That's bullshit. That was a slap in the face, especially when he performed at the VMAs the following year. Coincidentally, sales go up and he's getting paid millions. I trusted that man, but something told me to stay away. Once again, I was naive and was trying to get put on. The only real ones that still care till this day is Lil Cease, Lil Kim, and Shaq, as far as my friends. Anyone else, not really. They live in their own lives. It seems like they sort of forgot about me over the years. Faith still thinks of me because of CJ. I wasn't the best husband to her. I had my girlfriends on the side and didn't really treat her nice. If I were smarter then, I would not have married her. But, things happen. I didn't know her that long, but Satan, quote unquote, matched me up with her. It was a match made in hell, believe it or not. I was abusive, I ain't gonna lie. I was in my 20s. I didn't really know any better. I was too caught up in the lifestyle with Satan. Love should be pure and sacred, not take it for granted. I was suicidal at times too. It was all about party and bullshit, LOL. The higher ups wanted me to perform some gay acts, and I wasn't down with it. Where I'm from, we don't do that. Nothing against the gays. They do what they do. But I would have been looking crazy if my people knew. Puff, on the other hand, had other plans. He wanted to go as high as he could go with the riches and fame. He ruined people's careers because he wanted to act like he was a god and steal people's money. Danity, Kane, and Day 26 were the highest paid groups he created, and he ruined their contracts. The first group to ban was a setup for a quick come up. He didn't plan on keeping that group together and to really get high ratings for his show, making the band. That was another satanic deal. Those people had dreams of being successful, and he had them doing the most, like walking on the Brooklyn Bridge for some cheesecake. Like, are you serious? But they were serious about it, I guess. That's called desperate. And people do much worse to get ahead with fame, to get signed. He had a secret affair with Sarah Stokes. He wanted her to be the Cassie before Cassie. She turned him down because she didn't want to leave her husband. Surprisingly enough, he blacklisted the other members. He was abusive to Cassie a lot and all his other women too. Puff is a major control freak. Then he later wanted to be called Love and start this bullshit movement. He's psycho for real. All he cares about is money, power, and greed. If it were one thing I would change, would surround myself with better influences. I wouldn't really change anything else. Probably treat people better, especially women. I was very misogynistic. I respect my mom, but not the women I dated. It was terrible. I wish I were there for CJ and Tiana to watch them grow up. I guess I was meant to live a short life. It's all about making better choices. I miss my kids so much. They are the loves of my life, and my mother, Valletta Wallace, too. I made a mistake with a lot. I regret meeting Puff, but if I never met him, no one would really know who I was. It was all in the plan, I guess. These other mediums didn't want to help me cross over, so I've been stuck like Chuck, like a prison, but worse. No one belongs on this realm, ever. It's very eerie, dark shadow figures, demons running around, creepy noises, brimstone smell, melted corpse smell. It's horrible. It's mad hot down here. It's one of the lowest dimensions. I cry every day and I'm sad. I blame Puff evil ass for making a decision with Satan to send me here. I guess I wished for this. It's my fault too. I didn't kill nobody though. The music industry is so evil and demonic. Hollywood in general. When you make a deal with Satan or any other demons, that's it. You're their bitch. They own you now. Kind of like these record companies. They sell you a dream and make a profit off your talent to quote unquote sell your soul. A lot of these contracts have those secret incantations embedded. Many people don't read the fine print, not knowing what they got themselves into. Some are smart to have a lawyer present. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really read the fine print much either. I was happy to get signed with a major label and some ends. To see millions of dollars in my bank account blew my mind. I wanted more. I was the new kid on the block and collaborated with a lot of people. I feel like I learned my lessons during these past years. Been over 2 decades. Andre Harrell, a former Uptown Records co-founder / creator, partner with MCA Records, a prominent figure in music, helped build the careers of stars like Heavy D and the Boys, Guy, Albie Shore, Jodeci, and none other than Sean, aka Sean John Puff Daddy Puff P Diddy Diddy Diddler Love Combs. That's a mouthful. Wink wink. September 2nd, 2024. Hello dear, it's finally nice to chat with you. I am overwhelmed with excitement. Thank you so much for taking the time to connect with me. I am Andre Harrell, a good friend of Kim Porter, and I am also from Bronx, New York. I was born and raised there, had a tough upbringing, but nonetheless, I lived a good life. I went to a good school and graduated college at Lehman, got my degree, and started my company, Uptown Records, tag teamed with MCA Records from the ground up. It was a lot of hard work and dedication, but I made it thus far. It's still running till this day. I started off in the early 80s. The first artist I signed was with Heavy D and the Boys. They were popping back then. Kim Porter was a receptionist at the headquarters. She was the face. She came all the way out here in New York from Atlanta, Georgia for her modeling career and booked gigs to star in music videos. She was with Albie Shore for a while. He was cool. Too bad it didn't work out. Nonetheless, me and Kim, managed to remain good friends over the years. She is like a sister to me. We had lots of fun together, going to parties, promo shoots, etc. Then one day in the early 90s, Sean would come into the office and ask for an intern job at the studio. I knew a little bit of his background as a dancer and appeared in Stacey Lattimore's music video back in the day. I gave him a chance. Then after a while, I started to notice strange behavior with him. He started fucking up, so I had to get rid of him. Terminated his position. He wanted to branch off anyway and started his own label with Bad Boy Records. I was showing him the ropes and everything. He appeared to be upset that he was fired, but he had other game plans.
He definitely was making the moves on Kim Porter, being extra flirty and bringing flowers, things of that nature. She wasn't too flattered at first, wouldn't give him the time of day. But eventually, she gave in to his advances. They started going on dates and formed a relationship. He was apparently in an on and off again relationship with Misa Hilton Brim. She was jealous of the quote-unquote new girl, Kim. They got into a few altercations. Kim stood her ground. She was a sassy little thing. She, Kim, eventually fell in love with Sean over time. She dealt with all the infidelity and misuse treatment from Sean. He became violent with her. I wanted to intervene, but she just wouldn't let up. She stuck around because she loved him and was used to the lifestyle. Didn't want to give it up. At the very beginning, Sean was sweet to her, but started to notice his behavior, having childlike tantrums. After Biggie's death, she noticed a significant change in him. She didn't know what she really signed up for, his demonic behavior. She knew he would have these secret meetings with these Jewish men, not knowing they were high-ranking demonic worshipers. Jewish mysticism in the Kabbalah. They were filthy rich too. She didn't know Biggie was Sean's first sacrifice. She noticed Sean was becoming more cocky than ever. Sean pretended to grieve over Biggie's death, telling people in interviews that they were like best friends and brothers. He didn't have a remorseful soul in his body. Deep inside, he was cold. The demons he connected with made him feel that way. He had to make a sacrifice in order to have Bad Boy Records rise to the occasion. He adamantly wanted to take over the Rolling Stone cover. He didn't want Biggie to have the shine since he was already dead. How cold-hearted is that? Then Sean started to get endorsement deals. The sales were going up. He was loving it all. More money, more problems, right? He played Mace in his face. He took most of the residuals from Mace's songwriting credits. Didn't give him a dime. The contracts were almost fraudulent. Mace signed a deal where he would have low percentages from sales on record albums. Sean and his team switched up the contracts to where Mace wouldn't get any residual income. Mace would have been a millionaire hadn't it been for Sean's greed and lies. They eventually separated their ways due to business reasons. Any artist that Sean and his team signed, Sean would get at least 90% of the profit. 112, Loom, Day 26, Danny D. Kane, Dream, B5, The Band. All of those artists were played. He got Loon locked up because Loon rejected his advances. They were naive to know the business aspect of things. They worked their tails off only to become empty-handed. The ones who really wanted to make it had to do a little something, strange for a little change. In some cases, against their will, i.e. being drugged up. Biggie was Sean's biggest sacrifice to date. Then there was me. I died in May of 2020 from congestive heart failure. I had health complication battles for a few years. They were sudden, not realizing later on I would become the next victim to yet another sacrifice. He hated me deep down and held a grudge because I fired him all those years ago. Talk about Scorpio pettiness. Just evil. A few months prior to my death, Sean had a meeting in a secret hall with some Jewish men about making another sacrifice. He needed more to build his empire up. Signed a deal with Revolt. He paid them, the Jewish guys, almost $500,000 to seal my fate. Then that's when they got to work. Their rituals seemed to be intense, many hours. They wore cloaks in a dark room with candles and did chants and prayers to summon demons. It took a couple of months to allow the ritual to manifest. They told Sean to act surprised about the death. Just pure evil. Once my death was announced, did you know Sean was jumping for joy? He was happy to know that he was able to score yet another multi-million-dollar deal for his empire. I wasn't too surprised though. I did cry because of my ex-wife and son were left behind. I know I am missed by a lot of people in Hollywood. Many have given Sean the side eye when I passed away. He even gave condolences to my ex-wife and son. What a slap in the face. He never meant well. Hervé Pierre and Sean Combs are very much in love. To my ex-wife and son Gianni, I love and miss you all tremendously. I want you all to live a good and happy life until we meet again. To all my friends and true business colleagues, I miss and love you. Thank you for the shared times over the years. Be well. To Sean, I hope you rot in hell, you son of a bitch. You took my life away, and I pray to God that vengeance is upon you.
Heavy D, a loving father, a kind friend, a loving son, and sensational hip-hop artist. Never give up on your dreams. Don't go off the deep end. Just learn to float. And just slap Diddy's hand when you see him and say, "No, Diddy, no." Just kidding. Psych.
September 2nd, 2024. Hey, I'm Dwight Myers. Nice to finally get a chance to talk with you. Better known as Heavy D from Heavy D and the Boys. I'm a proud Jamaican born May 26th, a Taurus. Gotta represent. I'm from Manville, Jamaica, but raised in Mount Vernon, New York. I have one beautiful daughter, Zaya. She's my pride and joy. I miss and love her so much. But anyways, I was booming in the 80s. Started off in a group, then branched off a solo deal. Usually things don't work out in a group, but I digress. I even discovered one of the popular 90s group, So For Real, with the hit song Candy Rain, a classic 90s R&B song till this day. So here's the story about how my life got twisted upside down. I've also been good friends with Kim Porter, such a sweetheart and sassy too. She appeared in my music video, Nothing But Love. She was getting her name out there by being a quote-unquote video vixen or quote-unquote video girl, as they call it. She was kind of a socialite, rubbing elbows with people in Hollywood and attending the hottest parties and clubs. She became more well-known after dating P. Diddy. She loved the glitz and glamour. What girl doesn't? But it came with a price, unfortunately. I was cool with Sean at first. We became good friends. But I started hearing, quote-unquote, around town that he was up to no good, like secretly gay and embezzling money from his artists. I eventually stopped contact with him. His parties, or the ones he attended, were out of control. They had a lot of voyeurism going on, the sex orgies and all of that. I didn't want no parts. I went to at least one party hosted by him in the Hamptons many moons ago. At first, I wasn't interested, but he kind of pressured me into it, claiming that it's gonna be jamming and all of that, and good food too. I'm down for the good food as a big guy. So I said, sure, why not? Let me check it out. After late hours around midnight or so, I was ready to bounce. But he tried to convince me to stay. Before I left, I wanted to use the bathroom. He told me where to go. After I used the bathroom, I was curious to know what was going on in this one particular room. These guys was getting it on and popping. I was shocked, like, yo, I'm out of here. I couldn't believe my eyes, like I wanted to bleach my eyes out. It was a bunch of guys getting freaky and butt-ass naked. I was thinking like, this what this nigga on? I hurried up and left. He asked me, what's the rush? I just made up an excuse and said I had somewhere important to go in the morning. I dashed my ass up out of there. I never attended another Diddy party. It was crazy. Diddy is like into that fetish shit with the drugs and all of that. He has a power trip, so he likes to be in control. He gets people to have a few drinks, pop a few pills, snort some lines, and get the party started. He's evil, man. I'm surprised he has lungs left out of all the drugs he's used. His body is so used to it. He eventually confronted me and asked why I didn't want to fuck with him anymore. I just told him flat out, I don't get down like that. It's not my style. He made it seem like it was normal and there was nothing wrong with it. He would always surround himself with the most beautiful, most flyest women in the country to either party with him or attend events. Some of them were in disguises as demons or transgender. Yes, he loves transgender women. I was in shock to discover what this guy really gets into. He even got involved with Jeff Epstein, partying with them on Jeff's private island, inviting underage girls from different countries like Brazil or Colombia. They would entice them with lots of money and lavish gifts. These were super young girls, age ranging from like 13 to 17. They were super naive. They were used as sex slaves and they got these girls to do whatever they wanted. Jeff Epstein and his crew, whoever's name was on the list, participated in some of these sex acts. They even had young boys too. They were all drugged up, of course. Some are mentally traumatized. Some were promised modeling gigs or to be in movies. None of it really came to pass. All broken dreams and promises. Some have been pissed or defecated on for sexual pleasure. That's why Jeff Epstein had those huge showers where you can fit a bunch of people in to do these crazy acts in. It's a bunch of sick behavior. That young girl that Diddy quote unquote adopted was recruited as a sex slave and was silenced off. She's not allowed to speak in public. Plus, she was paid off big time. That whole quote unquote adoption was a cover up for her real agenda. She was another young Cassie. I think she's off in another country, not allowed to have any social media accounts. She was threatened to be killed if she spoke about anything. Diddy's contract is almost up. The demons will eventually dispose him in a way that Diddy's life will be in shambles. All the souls he decided to sacrifice for his empire will all come crashing down. He's getting paranoid as to why certain things are happening. The demons he's worked with are tired of his shenanigans. There's only so many sacrifices you can take. They usually allow a certain limit, but Sean became too greedy. He took on most of the energy of the demon Belial, who is all about excess and greed. More than likely, Sean will become imprisoned for a long time, like R. Kelly. The demons want to teach him a lesson in the worst way possible. They've done all they could during his 20-plus year career. That's all for now. P.S. Sloan Bella is a liar. To my daughter, Zaya, I love you dearly and I hope you grow up to be an outstanding young lady. Execute your goals and be the best version of yourself. Make Daddy proud. Love you so much and I miss you greatly. To my family and friends, I love and miss y'all. Hope we can meet each other again in the afterlife. To my fans, thank you for rocking with me and supporting my music. My legacy will continue because of you. Love you guys.
Craig Mack. Loved by many, hated by most. Only Christ knows my heart. I will always have love for hip hop. Bye bye, Diddy.
September 16th, 2024. Hello, my name is Craig Mack. Nice to meet you. I was born and raised in New York, Bronx. I was married and had children, a son and daughter. I was best known for the hit single in '94, Flavor in Your Ear, featuring Biggie Smalls and Busta Rhymes. There was a remix involved. I was hype about the track. It got a lot of airplay on the radio stations too. I started off in a rap group and later branched off in a solo deal. I had a real passion for hip hop. I grew up listening to Curtis Blow and Run DMC, other cats like that when hip hop was rising. I knew what I wanted to do with my life, to pursue music. I was performing in basements and local clubs to get my name out there. Once I was discovered, I signed a record deal. The first one didn't work out due to management issues. Then I heard of this young cat, Sean Combs, who was recruiting people for his new record label, Bad Boy Records. I had to audition, of course, freestyle. He liked my flow, just not my looks. But I didn't even care about that. I just wanted to be signed. Didn't really know what I had signed up for. Eventually, I found out. After I dropped my album with that single, I was looking into seeing what was next. They kept shoving my shit or pushing it back. I was mad hot. I wasn't really getting no airtime like I wanted, and even my pay was low. I felt lowballed. So they dropped me from the label. It was just business, they told me. They kicked me to the curb. I was heartbroken. I was one of the first artists signed with Bad Boy, and they decided to just let me go, just like that. After that, I was pretty much blackballed in Hollywood. I just went on to live a normal life, I guess. I was still performing the song and other things with local artists and stuff. One of the other reasons why I was blackballed is because I also refused to get down with the low down dirty Sean Combs. That silly motherfucker, I tell you. I couldn't believe they recently changed my cause of death on the autopsy report. I never died from no AIDS. Are you shitting me? Never in my life have I ever had AIDS. It was correct the first time. It's a humiliation tactic. That's all that was for. They should have just left it alone. Like, why wait that long to announce something like that? Doesn't make sense, right? But I absolutely did not die from no fucking AIDS. Excuse my French. Some people in Hollywood tend to do that to cover up something, like switching autopsy reports. I was definitely one of the few sacrifices for Sean Combs to gain more money. He should have been using that money to pay his artists instead of being a greedy little old bitch. He played me and everyone signed to Bad Boy. They need to close that shit down ASAP. It was built off his blood sacrifices. Nothing good has come from it. All of his businesses and awards are from the blood of the souls he chose to sacrifice, and it all started with Biggie. He was the first. He pretended like nothing happened, but he knew all along. But the vengeance of God is coming to him real soon. He's going to be burning in hell with his demon friends. Never trust anyone in Hollywood because they might just sacrifice you. To my family and friends and fans, thank you all for your love and support and for rocking with me. I miss my people a lot. I wish I was still on earth living it up with y'all. Y'all stay blessed and be humble.
Esco, a loving son, a friend, a family man. Always loved to pose for the camera. Lights, camera, action. Modeling was my dream. To be a top model with top brands and travel the world. I had dreams and goals, but it was all taken away. Choose Christ, y'all.
September 16th, 2024. Hello, my name is Jabbar. My family and friends called me Esco. That's been a childhood nickname. I was an upcoming model and was well loved by people in the industry. I was killed off as a sacrifice by none other than P. Diddy Combs. I still hate him till this day. I signed a modeling contract with 4 models, and someone discovered me to do a campaign shoot for Sean John Clothing and Rockerwear. I was honored since that was one of the hottest brands at the time. I met up with Sean and many others to go over my portfolio and things like that. I started off with modeling when I was out of high school, since some of my peers told me I should get into modeling due to my handsome looks. I mean, what can I say? Anyway, I started to get acquainted with people in his circle, P. Diddy. I was formally invited to one of his parties. I did not participate in any activities going on there. I saw too much. There was lots of drugs and alcohol present, and fine-ass women, a plethora of them. It was almost like a fantasy world, but demonic-like. Sexcapades, like orgies, shit like that. People in private rooms doing dominatrix stuff and bestiality going on. I didn't see that part, but people have witnessed it. They took these dogs and performed acts on them while drugged up. Just super fucked up. People got off on that. I ain't want no parts. Before you enter a party hosted by Diddy, you had to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. They took your cell phones and locked them so you couldn't record any illegal activity they were involved with. The ones who stayed outside didn't see the craziness in the homes. Most of these crazy parties were in Los Angeles, New York, or Miami. They were getting buck wild. I was amazed to see how and why people did what they did to become successful. Diddy tried to get me to join him on this big mattress that was outside to jump around on, but it wasn't for that purpose. He wanted to bend you over and bang you out in front of all these people. I wasn't interested. Sean was upset that I declined his advances, so he ended up dropping me from his campaign. I was devastated. To be headlined as one of the main male model of his clothing line, to be absolutely nothing. I got paid nicely, and that's what I was pissed off about. If no one is quote unquote down with Diddy, then he'd pretty much blacklist you and make you go broke. I didn't snag another major modeling gig after that. Shortly after I was let go, I was still trying to book gigs to make ends meet. I love to model and making new friends in the industry like Kim Porter and Suchin Pak from MTV, a former journalist. I just ain't want to get involved with how these guys get down in the industry. Majority of these guys are undercover gays. They mask their lifestyles by dating or even marrying super beautiful women. The ones you think are straight really ain't. Some women are okay with their secret lifestyles because of the benefits and glamorous lifestyle. My friend Kim didn't deserve to die the way that she did. Neither did I. She was like a big sister to me, it seems. Sean had an issue with that too. He suspected something was going on when there really wasn't. That's another reason why he cut me off. I became, quote unquote, too close to Kimberly. I had lots of female friends, just strictly platonic. The day that I went missing, I ended up being kidnapped abruptly by some random guys. Hervé Pierre was present. He was in on it. Diddy's secret lover and confidant / business partner. They took me to a deserted place in the woods in Edison. They knew where I stayed. They forced me to strip down butt-ass naked, and they gang raped me. They beat me up and shot me to death. Left me for dead. Just cold-blooded. They did that to a young black man. That same act like how those slave masters did our ancestors. Humiliation at its finest. Justice will be served for all of us victims of Sean John Combs. He's a demon in disguise. The fame and fortune made him a monster, a drug-addicted sex fiend who's abusive and narcissistic. Has a very childlike mindset because of his temper tantrums when he doesn't get his way. He likes to be in control. But those demons he has on his team are the real ones in control. They are powerful and helped him with the rise in fame. But his time is up now. He is not granted any more blood sacrifices unless it's one of his kids, which is something he will never do. Last message. Stay true to the game. Don't let it ruin you. To my family and friends, I love each and every one of y'all. It's too many to name. Until we meet again, hopefully, we can party like rock stars in heaven without the drugs and stuff.
Virgil Abloh, one of the most influential people in the fashion world with a hint of creativity. Be yourself and choose Christ.
September 21st, 2024. Hello, my name is Virgil Abloh from Rockford, Illinois, born and raised by my wonderful Ghanaian parents. So proud of them, and I miss them very much. They helped shape and molded me into the man I was. Growing up in an African household had expectations. going to school, i.e. college, get a degree in a field that pays well, i.e. doctor, lawyer, etc. Oh, I missed the food too from my mom. Something about Ghanaian cuisine. I deserved to be an architect because of my creative mindset, and later on pursuing fashion. Started off with Pyrex and later transitioned into Off-White and Louis Vuitton. I loved both, being creative and having a love for fashion. I miss my wife and children too. They are named Lo and Gray. They are my world. I'm gonna miss seeing them grow up. I hope they will end up outstanding teenagers into successful adults. I wish them well. To my wife, my high school sweetheart, if I had one more chance to say I love you, I would many times over. The love of my life, whom I will always cherish. She meant the world to me. So beautiful, smart, talented, witty, amazing mom, exceptional wife. Wink, wink. I wish to have my family back. Hopefully, they'll go to heaven. No one should be in this dark place, the lowest dimensional of them all. I basically, quote unquote, rubbed elbows with this French fashion designer, Michelle Lamy, wife of Rick Owens. After developing a quote unquote friendship, she invited me to tag along at the Met Gala. She introduced me to a lot of celebrities. People went to her for special deeds, i.e. spell work. Shortly after I attended my first Met Gala, that's when I started to develop the tumor which contributed to my death. No one is allowed to the Met Gala unless you have been quote unquote recruited or invited. No one is allowed to use their cell phones in order to access the art gallery, i.e. the art show. Professional photographers only. Looking at different outfits and some on display. Meanwhile, before you enter in, there's a high fee, paying over $70,000 in quote-unquote fashion donations, i.e. ritual fee, plus other miscellaneous fees. Everyone is gathered into different rooms and quote-unquote petition with the high-ranking demons for whatever it is you wish. It's one of the highly anticipated events of the century. They've started out in the early 1900s, which started in New York City. It wasn't as diverse as it is now. It used to be for high-profile white socialites. Changed their views in probably the mid-70s to early 80s. You've got to do some of the most despicable things to get in the Met Gala. Doesn't apply to everyone. The parties that Diddy threw were mainly for sex rituals. For some odd reason, it's more powerful with masculine energy, the sex magic. He has several demons surrounding him. Asmodeus, Belial, Mephistopheles, Belphegor, King Paimon, and lastly, good old Satan, being facetious. They have taken over his body vessel. That is why he's had countless violent incidents and condoned abnormal behavior. Being too eccentric, too proud. Once those demons take over your body, it's a wrap. They helped him be the quote-unquote hitmaker of the century. Well, one of them. Usually, if you think about it, everything Sean Combs has touched turned to gold. Almost every single radio station played his music, the hip-hop phenom that made things iconic.
It's a shame that he has went down this path. He done went as low as you can possibly could. He became a drug-addicted sex fiend that couldn't control his life. The higher execs helped him get there. He made a lot of Jewish friends, if you know what I mean. They were either high-ranking rabbis or magicians. You would never think that someone in a nice suit or in Jewish attire, like traditional clothes for a rabbi, wouldn't be doing high-level magic. It takes years of practice. I surrounded myself with the wrong people, including Michelle Lammy. But I guess I was down with the cause. I took a leap of faith and just went along with it. To be a creative director for Louis Vuitton menswear was phenomenal. Love to take action in that. My mainline Off-White was a super success. I like to branch off and do different things. I like to experiment and see where that takes me. I don't know how I really feel about Mr. Kamara taking over my creativity. It's not really giving much of the vision. I'll just leave it at that. I guess that's it for now. There's also some more information about this Met Gala, his experience. He explained that the Met Gala, the private rooms there looked phenomenal, like something out of a movie. It was dim in most areas that passed out hors d'oeuvres, alcoholic drinks, a real social scene. I'm not gonna lie, I had fun, but if I know what I know now, I wouldn't have gone. I mean, realistically, if it hadn't happened, I wouldn't have my career in fashion meaning to skyrocket. If you really want to get ahead, you must prepare for a ritual to be like them, to be a part of the quote-unquote club. To all my family and friends, I miss and love you all. Don't forget about me now. You guys are the best. We got some final notes from Virgil Abloh. He mentioned that Kanye West is a good guy, just misunderstood, a good friend at that. And then he said other things about Michelle Lammy, which I'm not going to get into, but this piece, he stated, she appeared so charming and quote-unquote motherly, almost too friendly, but that's the personality she portrays. She pretends well. All right, you guys, so I'm going right into the final commentary of this whole debacle. Just going to touch base on a few highlights that are kind of important. So the first area that I'm going to speak about, we have the ancient gods associated with Diddy. It's quite a few, actually. We have Satan, the king of the underworld of darkness, grants whatever Satan wishes. Nothing is guaranteed. Just think about that. We also have Asmodeus, or Asmode, one of the 7 princes of demons, the lustful one, ranked number 32 in the Ars Goetia, governs 72 legions of inferior spirits. We also have Mephistopheles. That is a very challenging name. So that one is known for the Faust Pact, which is basically a deal with the quote-unquote devil, where a person gives up something of great moral or spiritual value in exchange for worldly gain. Just recently, a popular actor that had a hit 90s sitcom informed me about their pact with their own success by communicating with this demon. I also have King Paimon. This one is loyal to Lucifer,
known for knowledge of past and future events, all things art related, secrets, making spirits appear, and other things such as weaponry, well known in the Middle Eastern countries, for example, Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. This King Paimon was founded around the Ottoman Empire. They also appear in the form of a man with a crown and rides a dromedary, or better known as one-humped camel. I just learned about that word. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Dromedary. But anyways, and I also have Belial, which means worthlessness. Enough said about that. We also have Belphegor. I have a few notes, I guess, from Wikipedia. This one helps people make discoveries. So I guess he was known as being the hit maker, associated with one of 7 sins, which is sloth or laziness. This ancient god comes from Baal Peor, who was worshipped at Mount Peor, associated with intemperance, which is basically uncontrollable desire of something, and orgies. He is referred in the Bible in the book of Numbers, so Numbers 25, verse 3. His offering is the excrements, or better known as poop. Just foul, y'all. Just foul. I'm telling you, a lot of these celebs are sick. Like, I'm talking about sick. Anything under the sun you can think of, a lot of these celebrities are doing. It's, yeah, no words. All right, so another thing that I want to talk about is the hidden villain / main character, Sean's boyfriend, Hervé Pierre, the former CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment. I don't know if you guys remember, but he resigned earlier in 2024, and it was just pretty much brushed under the rug. Like, I think he resigned because there was some kind of sex-related case against him, sexual harassment or something along those lines. I'm not quite sure. But, yeah, he immediately resigned earlier this year. I was like, that's a red flag. Me and the spirit of Kim Porter were just on the sidelines with our popcorn, just watching how everything is unfolding, and it's just very unfortunate, you know. But his name definitely came up quite a bit in the mediumship notes. She made it very clear that, you know, he's the main character. Well, one of the main characters in this situation that was doing a lot of dirty deeds for Sean. You know, they met in college. They fell in love, low key. They kept a very private relationship, I suppose. But the ones who were, you know, really close with his circle like that, they knew about the nature of their relationship. Let's just put it that way. All right, this thing has been kind of I don't want to say trend in the spiritual community, the spiritual world, but a lot of these psychics or whatever, they're putting out information, doing all this channeling and stuff. Like when a spirit like literally just passes, not even 24 hours later, I have some crazy psychic medium tapping into my energy. Like, dang, I just left my body. Can I, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how a lot of these spirits feel. Like, you're so thirsty to tap into their energy source just to get some information. I personally feel like if a spirit has not come to you directly for help, then just leave them. Like, but anyways, we've got like 3 people I want to bring up. They've come up quite a bit in my readings. One in particular just so happens to be America's favorite Sloan Bella from YouTube. She has a pretty big following. I unfortunately stopped following her a few years ago because I just been hearing too many things. She's not like a real authentic psychic in many ways. Now, mind you, I don't know her personally. Number two, I don't know her abilities. You know what I'm saying? She's apparently been doing this 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? That's far more than what I've been doing. Okay? Now, thirdly, when I have a list of people or spirits that have verbatim told me that you're a fraud, you're a liar, that's going to spark up a red flag, don't you think? So let's give a few examples here. None other than Tupac Amaru Shakur, the one and only, okay? And people out there, stop saying he's out in Cuba or somewhere else. The guy has left the building years ago, okay? God rest his soul, but he's no longer present with us. Stop with the conspiracy of him being in Cuba, people. He's not there. You're not going to fight him. Maybe a doppelganger, but you're not going to find Tupac Shakur. Anyways, so this particular note comes from December 26 in 2023. I quote, P. Diddy or Puff Daddy gay ass ain't have nothing to do with my death. These mediums really think they know the full truth about my life and death. Even Sloan. I never came to her to confess anything. She tapped into my energy without my permission. That's what she tends to do with these other celebrities or other spirits. End quote. We got number 2. Whitney Houston. The one and only from Newark, New Jersey. Okay? I'm not going to put the full note. I'm just going to put it in the nutshell. Sloan is a liar. And that's a capital L-I-A-R. That's coming from Miss Whitney Houston. I also refer to her as Auntie Nippy. Also, I just want to touch base too. In my previous videos, I did mention that she is Auntie Nippy to me, which she is essentially. However, there's no blood relation. It's just more like a spiritual thing. I've been helping her in the spiritual world, as well as Bobby Christina, occasionally Bobby Jr. But other than that, you know, she's Auntie Nippy to me. So that's definitely her quote. Thirdly, we have Prince Rogers Nelson. Okay, this is from September 30th, 2024. Quote, I am here to confirm that Sloan Bella, the white lady on YouTube, has fabricatedly told stories about me, claimed to have also channeled me. Naturally, I'm a private person and rarely talk to people unless there is a check written or doing a favor for a friend, for example, Tavis Smiley, for interviews. Otherwise, I ain't telling you shit. Stop lying on people's names. It's not cute and it's not funny. The truth will come out eventually. End quote. The official office of Prince Rogers Nelson, aka the Purple One. Period. Oh, and last but not least, we had to save the best for last, you know. We've got Michael Jackson, you guys. I'm talking about the Michael Joseph Jackson, the Virgo, okay? The greatest of all time, okay? Michael Joseph Jackson, you guys. And this note, this is a pretty extensive one. He went off. Now, you know, a lot of people don't know. Maybe you do if you don't. But Michael Jackson was known to throw shade, okay? He was the king of shade, you guys. Like, he didn't care. So this note is from January 30th, 2022, y'all, for my personal mediumship note entry. So, quote, "Now this Sloan lady, she's false, completely false, just trying to get views for her channel. She claims to have done this for 30 plus years. She's been lying to people, including me. She thought she was channeling me, but she wasn't. It was another entity portraying as me, posing as me. She bashed my name on her channel. She has an ugly spirit, by the way. She is not of pure light. I'm sorry, but she's a beat. She really is. I don't typically curse, but she really took it there. I mean, what kind of person does that for views? Claims that she can't listen to my music because she thinks I'm a pedophile. Get real. I don't know who she channeled, but it damn sure wasn't me. Now run that to the press. She does not mean well. She was right on a few points, but not 100% accurate, especially related to those allegations. I did, however, hang around people that were into that. That's why throughout the years, I never kept too many people around. I couldn't trust them. Only my immediate family, which was barely, and my children. She, Sloan, has lied about a lot of things on her channel. She needs to be exposed. You can't believe every medium. I am not gay. I don't have a gay bone in my body. No offense to the LGBTQ community. I love women and confident in my manhood." End quote. Period. So last but not least, we have the Quatita Dean from YouTube and Tammy the Voodoo Queen from TikTok. Just basically with Quatita Dean, apparently she didn't channel the real Kim Porter. That's what led me to her page, essentially, because I've never heard of Quatita Dean ever. Somehow Spirit led me to her page and was like, nah, she ain't never channeled me. Tammy the Voodoo Queen, I've been hearing a lot of speculations about her. I don't know them personally, but apparently these spirits are telling me otherwise. Apparently Tammy the Voodoo Queen lied on the spirit of Kendrick Johnson, the one who unfortunately passed away in his high school gym at the was it Valdosta, Georgia. His mom wasn't having it, let's just put it that way. So, and then also from King Von, I have channeled with him also. I'm just going to leave right here what he said about Tammy the Voodoo Queen. What I wanted to touch base on with this highlight are two important events in Hollywood, which would be the glamorous Met Gala and the Grammys. So I'm going to talk about that connection with Hollywood and why it's important, I guess. So we have two Wiccan holidays of the year, which would be Imbolc, which is a pagan holiday celebrated the 1st of February. And it's a holiday surrounded by the highest anticipated event of the year, which is the Grammys. So the next one would be February 2nd. Imbolc is February 1st, 2025. The second pagan holiday we have would be Beltane, which occurs typically during the eve of April 30th and the midday of May 1st. It's essentially a celebration of life and the transition of spring equinox to summer solstice. I guess they celebrate this one particular god called Bel, a Celtic sun god. That's what I researched on. Imbolc, Beltane, and Samhain. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's basically Halloween or Hallows Eve. It is very interesting. So, yeah, the Met Gala is a prestigious and highly anticipated holiday, or I don't want to say holiday, like an event in Hollywood. And, these particular pagan holidays are for, ritual time. All right, this next highlight that I wanted to touch base on is the Vril Society, which has been a topic that's been slowly coming up on social media because I haven't heard about them before until kind of recently. So basically, this was founded by a Croatian medium by the name of Maria Orsic in Germany. The Vril Society is a metaphysical group that communicates with outer worldly beings or extraterrestrials for mysteries or esoteric knowledge. The quote-unquote Vril derive from the subterranean realm, aka the abyss. So what I gathered for the physical appearance based on spirit, they are reptilian-like with fluorescent scales, almond-shaped eyes, can shapeshift, usually tall above 6 feet, wears talons or claws, grayish green tint to skin, ability to put total control over human vessel. The Vril are not a virus, and also what I gather why they exist is for totalitarianism, to control the masses, which is I'm not gonna go too deep into that right now, but that's what a lot of these people do in Hollywood. Also what I gathered too from Spirit is that Sean Combs is a part of the Vril Society, the reptilian-like group with soulless eyes. Most people that attend the Met Gala are a part of this society. It started off with the Rothschilds, one of the top richest families in the world. Once you reach 1 million or more, you'd be approached by, this club, aka Billionaire Boys Club. I guess that's what they call it. But that's the message that I got from Spirit. So, yeah, this is very interesting, to say the least.
Well. Looks like you, Sean Combs, have officially met your match. Also, we're birthday twins, right? So, yeah, you really, really thought you were going to get away with it, right? You deserve to be locked up for the rest of your life, because the one thing about the spiritual world is that you can get humbled real quick. You really thought that those ancient gods or demons were really on your side. However, they have helped you quite a bit in your 20 plus year career. Your contracts have been fulfilled. There are no more sacrifices to receive. And you're done. Your career's over. So you might as well hang it up, my friend. You might as well also save your little coins and your petitions, because you're never getting out. You deserve to rot in prison for the rest of your life. And, I feel so sorry for those victims that you have tormented, have caused pain, distress, all of those things. The one friend who called you their brother at one point, you betrayed them in the worst way possible. They were in the darkest realm for over 20 years. But it had to take me to release them from that dark place by burning Galacticus ancestor money, as well as Kim Porter and Andre Harrell and Heavy D, Esco, Craig Mack. They didn't belong there. However, they have made their choices. No one's perfect, but you, Sean Combs, are the worst of the worst. Along with your friends like Sean Carter and Beyonce, who are definitely coming up next. Y'all just wait real soon. We got a real special treat for them as well. It's gonna be coming up in the near future. Yeah, Sean Combs, you might as well just hang it up, my guy. You know, it's real unfortunate that it had to take me to be a part of this. First and foremost, I would like to thank the spirits of Kim Porter, Christopher Wallace, Andre Harrell, Heavy D, Esco, Virgil Abloh, Craig Mack. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for really giving me the real tea, and to also allow me to help each and every one of y'all. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate y'all. And I'm also going to apologize once again to the friends and families affected by this demonic man. I feel terrible, especially for his children. I have a heart. Now, I understand, that's your dad. However, if that were me, I wouldn't even show up to one of those court appearances. I would not support him at all. But hey, to each his own. God bless y'all. I really appreciate each and every one that have tuned in. Also, a special shout out to Cassie Ventura Fine. I don't know you, girl, but I love you and I commend you for stepping up and sharing a part of your story. And, and I pray that you also get the justice that you deserve, because you didn't deserve what you went through, girl. Like, you are beautiful, you are talented. Like, I remember, like, many moons ago, before you had even got your record deal, like, you were like my muse for my storybook, like when you used to model for Delia's catalog. And I was like, oh my God, this girl is so beautiful. Like, she's like an inspiration. So anyways, shout out to Cassie Ventura Fine. Also Alex Fine, you swooped her up, put a ring on it, gave her a beautiful family. Like, y'all got a beautiful family. God bless y'all. Stay prayed up, and I pray that y'all really have Christ. And I also pray that all of the victims affected, I pray that y'all have Christ, or discover Christ in your hearts, because, time is coming real soon. We all don't have much time on this planet, and we all really need to come together. And, whatever people are going through right now, y'all just stay prayed up and release any of those demonic soul ties that one of y'all may have, or whatever. Now, no judgment to the people who are a part of the left-hand path. Y'all do what y'all do, but at the end of the day, these ancient gods ain't nothing to play with, and y'all gonna go right along with them. And I've unfortunately have seen visions and somehow astral projected to that lower realm, and that's not a place that anybody should be. And I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all want to go ahead and enjoy the glamorous materialistic lifestyle on this earth, so be it. With the millions and billions of dollars, because I know that especially at this time right now, the economy is not so great, and people really want to live the good life, including myself. However, all of those extra things that come along with that is not of God, is not of light. Y'all need to stay prayed up. Y'all need to really discover the light, let go of, those things that are not serving. All I got to say is, God bless y'all, and y'all just stay tuned in, because I got more to really put out. Like I said, Sean Carter and Beyonce knows coming up real soon. And other people I'm going to have to expose. And it's only because I am one of God's messengers, and I'm just doing my job. So, all right, y'all. I'm about to tap out. So, bye.